Good morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Joe Jaquint, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group, and our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. Wealth insurance is what we do, the physical delivery of gold and silver. You know that one thing, I know it's crazy. It's been money for thousands of years. You don't have to worry about any central banker games or restating of earnings or quantitative easing or unemployment. Well, matter of fact, you don't have to really worry about a whole lot as long as your portfolio weighs enough. And that's what we do here. AllAmericanGold.com is the website. And, of course, you know that 800 number, 800-951-0592. It is Thursday already, right? Have that short week with the 4th of July holiday. We may get a Jason sighting tomorrow, and then we'll starting on Monday of next week, the Colorado Patriot office will reopen on Monday. But we had jobless claims out yesterday. Today, I'll get it. We had jobless claims out today. Tomorrow, we'll get the government jobs number. We've had a big commodity sell-off over the last, let's just call it over the holiday, right? All these guys, and of course, recession. Of course, I've been telling you it's not going to be a recession. We've got an update. Goldman Sachs is starting to come around. Now there's talk of a quote-unquote severe recession. So, they're not quite there yet. They're getting there. They'll get there. But we have a rally today in commodities. Crude oil leading the way. And really for a reason that I guess we're going to have to start paying attention to. Texas saying that, hey, we may not have enough power next week. That the power grid is maxed out. That, you know what, we may have to ask the oil refiners to calm it down. I mean, how do we get here? How long did it take us, and why did nobody see this coming? Oh, wait, that's right. People did see it coming. We've been telling you about the idiotic policies. Let's face it, this started back with the Obama administration, and now we got that clown Joe Biden. And all of this really predictable. Listen, I don't think anybody out there is saying that solar and wind power, it's nice. Yeah, where you can make it be effective, sure, why not? But here's the realities are, without natural gas and oil, there will be no power. And now Texas having to come out and saying, hey, listen, the power grid's under a lot of stress. It's getting hot. We may have to tell the refiners, because let's face it, refining gasoline takes a lot of energy, that they're going to have to slow down. And again, part of the problem is the refiners are operating at levels they normally don't operate at. Gee, I wonder what could possibly go wrong. Crude oil up over almost $6 this morning on that news. And again, we'll see what happens. But if refiners are going to be forced to not just slow down, from what I'm seeing here, it looks like some of these refiners, they may be asking them to say, hey, you know what, will you just shut her down? That would be huge. The effects of that would be really, really scary. Right now, I just look at, just right on cue, I just got oil inventory numbers Crude inventories up. Distillates, which is your diesel, gasoline down. Oil still up $5 here, just under $104 to the barrel, and we'll kind of wait and see how all this plays out. There's also news about our oil out of our strategic petroleum reserve, which we continue to release, and how it's heading overseas. And of course, I thought that oil was for us. But apparently it's for everybody. Friends, not friends, doesn't really matter. But again, we'll watch this play out. So all eyes will be on Texas, their power grid. And they've been knowing that they're having, power issues. The grid has been close to maxing out several times already. But the news was today that they may have to tell the oil refiners that they're going to have to shut down. We'll see what happens here over the next little bit, but they're saying next week. Rumors floating around that the governor may call on industrials, i.e. refiners, to idle or significantly derate plants for up to a week, or having to have rolling blackouts. So we'll see if there's more to this than just the rumors right now. But right now, this has oil moving aggressively higher today. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back right after the break. 800-951-0592. Tomorrow, we're going to have Joey with us tomorrow. I'm going to tell you right now, and I know that you had this little, I'll call it 10-day reprieve. You had the commodity sell-off, right, because recession. By the way, it's going to be much worse than that. We'll get to that in a minute. You have the dollar on this amazing run, which I get. Right? It makes sense because, right, Japan's in big trouble. I mean, they're done. They're done. Europe, they're done. The United States, we're done. That's, again, the ability of being the world reserve currency allows us to get a few more benefits of the doubt. But as you see, all of this slowly falling apart. We're talking about India. We're talking about China, Russia, Brazil, South Africa. Now there's rumors floating around. When there's smoke, there's fire. That the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, are going to extend an offer to Saudi Arabia to become part of the BRICS. That is another step here. I think the dollar, when we fall apart here, when Saudi Arabia starts selling crude oil in renminbi, get ready for it. I'll say this right now. I think equities are going to suffer greatly. You got to have that right guy looking out for you. Call my son, 602-909-9048. He's over at Northwestern Mutual. They got a great staff of team members, and Joey's kind of not surprised. He's the darling there. Not only you when you have him, all of the high ups in his office, you'll be having access to all of those guys as well. So I highly encourage you, if your financial guy hasn't been talking to you, what the heck are you doing? Give him a call, 602-909-9048. Now, we know what the plan is. There's no doubt anymore. We're going to digital currencies. That's the new plan, right? You got to remember, these guys are very, very smart. They're always way ahead. And I've said it, and I will continue to say it, and I hope you pay attention. You probably won't. I'll worry about it later. I'll worry about it later. It won't be that bad. I'll survive it. No, you won't. I want to go back to the financial crisis. You do understand they didn't fix it. Didn't fix it. Dodd-Frank didn't fix it. Too big to fail didn't fix it. How do I know? It's pretty simple. What was the problem? Well, they were too big. Right? The banks were too big. They had too much risk. They had too many derivatives that were worthless. They're worthless. But they're secured. It says it right in the title. Securitized debt obligations. Well, isn't that fancy? Well, if you got rid of the word securitized, we just focused on the other two words, debt obligation. That's what you need to understand. That's what's going to bring them down. But they knew that in 2008. They couldn't fix it. Instead, they covered it up. How, debt? I mean, just look at any chart. What they have done, and I'm talking about the central banks, what they have done over the last 15 years is basically give us all the middle finger. That's what they did. Hey, you coming to work every day? Yeah, we just want to devalue that. Came up with this fantasy story about 2%. Of course, even at that ridiculous rate, 2% a year every year means every 10 years you need 20% more money just to be in the same class that you were 10 years before. Of course, we're nowhere near 2%. Think about even, let's use their fake number. The CPI, right? What are they saying? The Fed's favorite gauge, the core, 6.3. Well, let's multiply that out times 10. Now you would need to have to make 63% more money just to stay in the same place. And what they've done is they devalued our money and just without us even realizing it. And of course, we see it every day. And I know, hey, guess what? Get excited. Gas got a little cheaper. Probably got another week of cheapness to go, and then it's going to start going back up again. But neither here nor there. Let's take it for what it is. Still $5. Go to the grocery store. Now I got to tell you stories about, hey, Texas may have to tell the refiners, hey, can you shut down? We don't got enough power. It's either you shut down or, I don't know, Dallas is going to be in a blackout. I don't know. It's crazy. Can't unload ships. Don't have computer chips, right? I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But again, the amount of money they printed, it's so... There's no words. The words haven't been invented yet to tell you what they really did to us. But again, they were just stalling. And they were stalling for this digital currency. I wish we were smart. Right now, we should be up in arms calling for the end of the Fed. That's what we should be doing. Ron Paul knew that. Matter of fact, anybody that actually has any intelligence really will tell you that. I'd go back, Alan Greenspan, heck, he knew that. But there's been an update. Just in the last 90 days, how quickly this has moved. What was it, a couple of Fridays ago? Jay Powell had to say, listen, we need to have this digital currency. What? Well, yeah, because otherwise our reserve currency status, it could be in jeopardy without it. What? Like a year and a half ago, you were saying that, oh no, well, we're looking at it, but no, we're not really doing anything. We gotta have it. Of course, Janet Yellen, she's been talking about it. Now the Bank of England guy, John Cutliff, he's the deputy governor. So I would say like Lael Brainerd, right? The number 2, she's next, right? She's going to be the next head of the Fed. That's this guy. During a panel discussion about the digital pound, see, they're all doing it. Right, it kind of, right, that old adage, right there. Well, your friends jumped off a bridge, would you? Well, depends how high's the bridge, right? Pretty high. He says that, hey, this digital currency, you got to remember, we're going to do, right, what we do, and the Bank of England does, the European Bank, right, Japan, it's all going to be the same structure. And this is what we're going to focus in on today, is going to be managed through some sort of account rather than working like cash or banknotes. Right? And again, this is why I'm sitting here and I'm telling you, most banks are going to go away. Those people that have, and let's pick a number, I don't know if it's 10,000, maybe it's 20,000, whatever the number is. If you have less than that in your account, you don't need a bank account any longer. Not a bank like you think it is. It'll be a Federal Reserve account. And only the people that have more than that will be in bank accounts and, of course, subject to all their rules and all of that. This guy is overseeing the bank's work on their digital currency. So he obviously he's in charge. He said during a discussion with policymakers, they're weighing how to make the pound more effective to use in online transactions, and then talked about the digital pound being used in crimes and money laundering operations are going to require more thought about how and when we offer it. Now, what does that translate to? Do you understand what that really means? Well, the digital pound, we got to worry about criminals. Yeah, because let's face it, all of us that have bank accounts, most of us are criminals. I mean, it's so ridiculous. Money laundering, yes, we're so concerned about, but you know what, this money laundering thing, I mean, I don't know, is there enough soap out there to money launder all this dirty money? It's ridiculous. But yet, they have to do it because you know why? Because they know before you get this digital account, we're going to determine how much of your money you actually get to keep. That's what this is all about. Money laundering. Give me a break. I think it's very unlikely that we would have an issue where there's going to be some form of an account-based instrument. I think it's very unlikely that you'll have this money, access to this digital money, without having, quote unquote, an account-based instrument. Right? We got to make sure that you deserve to have this account. And by the way, Go ahead and answer all these questions here. We'll determine what you get to have. Right? Oh, man, you know what? You're of a certain ethnicity. Well, you get to have a little more. You, on the other, well, you know what? Man, look at this. We can trace your family tree back to those racist guys that wrote that racist Constitution. Well, you're going to get less. Oh, wait a minute. You have too much money. Yeah, I know. Look how bad it is out there. You've had all this money in the bank for years. What are you saving it for? Oh, you wanted to retire at some point? Yeah, no. Tell you what we're going to do. See, because, we've got people that we've discriminated against, and there's other people, they need to get their sex change operations. Let's not forget, all the banks are insolvent, and, we're going to need some of that money. But don't worry. Because we're going to protect you against money laundering down the line. Give you a piece of paper later. Maybe you can get your money back. I don't know. Yeah. Believe me, this is right from the Bank of England. Get ready. 800-951-0592. I highly suggest you have some gold and silver put away. If you haven't done it yet, what in the heck are you waiting for? We had a nice little fake pullback. And I say fake because paper pullback. But hey, you get to buy it for less right now. How much time do we have? Remember Jay Powell? I think it was Jay Powell. Maybe it was Lael Brainerd. Put a timetable. And at the time, and this is 30, 45 days ago, because this is how fast things are going. 5 to 10 years was the official, the unofficial time period. Well, I've got a new time period coming. According to this guy, the number 2 guy at the Bank of England, he says that the Bank of England plans to release a research paper by the end of the year on how a retail central bank digital currency may look. And he said that he expects it will be 5 or more years before the digital pound is available to consumers. So in about 30, 45 days, 5 to 10 years down, 5 or more, 5. My guess is that 5 number sounds about right to me. Now, it could speed up, but you got to remember, first, we haven't even admitted we're in a recession yet. By the time they tell us we're in a depression, right, we're already going to be late 2023, maybe 2024, right? And then the process needs to happen. We'll see, but even then, 2027, about the same time, right, that Medicare is busted, right? Don't be fooled about these Social Security reports. Medicare and Medicaid go bust first. But neither here nor there. There's your timeline. Again, this time from a different bank, but similar. But he also had some other interesting things to say. That the Bank of England, which is one of many, right, central banks considering, they're not considering, this is what they're going to do, to launch a digital currency that is safe and free from the threat of criminal activity. See, once again, we're criminals. And here's the reality. You want to protect us from criminal activity, we need to be protected from them. Again, you know what? Listen. You know who the evildoers are in the eyes of the Fed? Believe me, it's not the money launderers. It's not the drug dealers. They don't care. It's fine. Matter of fact, they just hate it that they're pretending to crack down on it, right? Because the banks love that. We don't care. Give us the money. What they really hate is all these people that have money left over in their bank accounts every month. They hate it. They can't stand it. Right? It's your fault. Look at you. You might as well be in the eyes for them. We are the criminals. But no, they need to protect us from this criminal threat. I don't know what this threat is. Do you? I mean, I don't know any money launderers. I don't know any drug dealers. I mean, do they? I'm not naive. Yeah, they exist. They're out there, I guess. But this is such this is like a pimple when it comes to the whole banking industry. But they make this big deal because they know. Oh, well, we got to make sure. Yeah, this system is going to be criminal proof. Before you can get your digital credits, you got to make sure, you're legitimate. Cash is declining as a payment method. It's another way of saying, well, you see, cash is done anyway. It's dirty. It has COVID, probably has monkeypox, and any other thing they can think of. Right? And of course, let's face it, drug dealers love it, arms dealers, right? Just all these evil people. Think about now, forfeiture laws. I mean, heaven forbid you're driving in your vehicle, and you got $20,000 in cash because you're going to go buy a car. You get pulled over, the cops just take it. We don't know. You know what? You say you're buying a car. You could have been buying drugs. We don't. We're just going to take it. And then you can go through the courts and see if you can prove whether or not you got this money legally. Right? I mean, this is what they're doing. The discussion has included talks about the role of central banks issuing the digital currencies. Well, of course, right? Going to have this new Fed account. We will produce the asset, he said, but the interface with the public. And this was what I was really wondering. What would happen to like MasterCard and Visa? We will produce the asset, but the interface with the public would actually be done by private payment providers. So there we have it. So that's something new. Right? Hey, we're going to, don't worry. Visa, MasterCard, they'll still do all the swiping. So I guess, if there was going to be a bright spot on this, I thought, well, maybe I wouldn't have to pay these stinking credit card fees and debit card fees. Yeah, that looks like, no, we're still paying that. Of course. Give me a break. But again, a lot of information in just a few paragraphs. Letting everybody know, right? Oh, man, we got these criminal activities. Got to protect everybody from, right? That's code for, hey, we got to go through all your info. We got to figure it out. All you people with that cash in your safe, you better be ready. You got a lot of it. You got over 10 grand. You better be able to prove how you got it before you don't have it. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. And, we were just reading from the Bank of England, what they're planning on doing. So a couple of things we learned. The time frame keeps getting pushed up. Right? So the Bank of England now saying, hey, in as little as 5 years, why do I get the feeling when it's needed, miraculously they'll be ready? I wouldn't be shocked. I'll tell you right now, 2025 would not shock me at all. But we'll see. We'll see. But 5 years, we're going to have a third-party interface, if you will. So Visa, MasterCard, right? You know, they're going to be fine. Matter of fact, they'll be better than fine. Visa, MasterCard, be a home run for us. By the way, we're really worried about these criminals. Yeah, we're so worried about it. I mean, it's so prevalent. I mean, look at all the money laundering. I mean, it's no wonder why we're running out of laundry soap at the stores. You got to clean all this money. It's ridiculous. But, it's just a way for them to justify taking money from us, because this is what's going to happen. They are going to take your money. If you don't have any, yeah, you're fine. You're fine. I don't have any money. At the end of the month, I got $25.37 in my bank account. What do you? And those people won't care. Here's the problem. Most of them, right, will want to believe, well, with this, because you know what they're going to say. Oh, the digital currency, it's going to fix the problems. Make everything better. It's going to get us out of this depression. You know, they took the gold from us in 33. And, of course, the textbooks, well, let's just say they're, no offense to the textbooks, because there's a spin that they want you to have, and it's actually nowhere close to reality. No way. Did not get us out of the Great Depression. Didn't work. The lies that they told didn't work. Matter of fact, we are getting ready to go back in to another depression. So we're in it, barely got out of it in the late 30s. We're going in it again. It was World War II that ended the depression. And of course, really, Bretton Woods, right, where, hey, everyone used dollars because, we won. We won the war. That gave us this idiocracy to believe that we could just create as much money as we wanted to out of thin air. And, of course, we know you can't. It broke in 2008. They just weren't ready with this system yet. The technology wasn't ready yet. It's ready now. It's ready now. But make no mistake about it. The money you have in that bank, and again, not talking about the guy that has $25.52 at the end of the month. Talking to you people that carry large balances month after month, year after year. That's the money that they're going to use the bail-in for. That's what it's for. I mean, if you don't take my word for it. If you can actually stomach reading it, get the Dodd-Frank legislation. Read it for yourself. There is no bailouts coming. It's going to be bail-ins. Well, what does bail-in mean? Well, it means your bank went bankrupt. So let's go through the bankruptcy proceedings. Okay, great. Well, I'm a depositor. I'm going to be first on the list. I should get my money first. Well, that sounds great. And really, technically, you would think that's how it would be, right? Hey, before whoever gets paid, well, Goldman Sachs had these bonds, and and the Bank of Japan had these bonds, and this utility had that bond, and Apple, they got these bonds. I'm a depositor. Well, guess what? I hate to tell you. Guess who's very last on the list? It's the depositors. We are what you would be known in the bankruptcy court as an unsecured creditor, which essentially means, hey, after paying all the creditors that are in front of you, right? Think about it. They may owe, who knows, banks may owe MasterCard and Visa, right? They owe landlords, and they owe mortgages on buildings, and they owe on construction loans, and they owe on all this stuff. They owe payroll. After they pay all of that, whatever's left over can get divided up amongst these unsecured creditors. Which essentially means, hey, you got a lot of money in here, you didn't need it, we're just going to take it. But don't worry, they threw a little wrinkle on what they're taking. I'll tell you about that when we get back. 800-951-0592, and talking about the Bank of England, they gave a lot of detail, testimony in front of their house of where the digital currency sits. They're going to have a paper up before the end of the year. Timetable, about 5 years. That's what they're saying. Again, that can be sped up. I'm convinced of that. I think that it'll be ready within 3. Of course, the big concerns out there are going to be, those money launderers, the criminals, right? Because it's so bad. You got to be worried. And don't worry, you're going to have some type of an account, and we're going to have Visa, MasterCard. Yeah, they're going to be the ones, that'll process all your charges and payments. But we're talking about, what does it really mean? This thing about this horrible criminal syndicate that exists inside the banking industry. And really, that's just their code. That's their way of letting you know, hey, by the way, when the bail-ins come, we're going to be taking a deep dive into your financial records, and whose records? Well, those records of the people that have lots of money in the bank. As a matter of fact, you've had lots of money for years. Well, here's how this bail-in thing works. They're going to set an amount. I can't even tell you what the amount is. I don't know, because under the rules, there's going to be an emergency based on the emergency. They're going to determine how much money certain individuals will have to contribute to the bail-in. Because that's the law, right? You're an unsecured creditor. And again, I think, and I can't even say this for sure, I'm making an assumption that, hey, all you people that don't have any money in the bank don't have to worry. I'm making that assumption that, hey, you don't have any money anyway, so we're going to leave you with your $25.52. Everybody else, they're going to have a formula. I don't know what the formula is, but they're going to say, and this is my guess, I'm guessing here, they're going to have a minimum threshold. And that minimum threshold they like $10,000 ever since the Patriot Act, so let's use that. Okay. You get 10 grand. You got access to 10 grand. And obviously, you've had this access to all this money and you don't use it anyway. You got 10 grand. Plus you're working this, that, the other. All the rest of your money that you've had sitting in this bank for years, well, we're just going to do a quick little audit. And we're going to determine, based on this audit, how much of that money you actually really need. The rest of it, here's the good news. They're not just going to take it. Hey, they're going to be kind, and they're going to give you a bond that maybe you could redeem at a later date. How do you like it? Get that money out of the bank. Either get it to Joey or get it to me. 800-951-0592.